She is the founder and the CEO of Directory, which is a healthcare company that helps important drugs make their way to market. She is also the Chief Empathy Officer of something called Tiny Superheroes, which she will share more about with you today. And she's the author of Pets Are Family. She is someone who has changed my life in so many ways. I know she's about to change yours. Please give it up for the one, the only, the beautiful, the brilliant Erica Sinner.
Oh, thank you. Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. Thank you for such a warm welcome. It is such an honor to get to be speaking to all of you today and everyone at home. Hello, it's so beautiful to see your faces. I actually want to start today with a photo of me and my dad. And I would think most of you, when you see a photo like this, think, that introduction makes sense. She bought that company, she started that other one, she wrote that book. She must have grown up in a really loving home. One that instilled a confidence and belief in her that she could do anything, that she could change the world. But the truth is, just a few short years after this photo was taken, I would have a moment with my dad that would change my life forever. We had just gotten home from the most beautiful day with my sister, my dad, and I. My sister was already running back to her room, putting away all of the things that we had gotten that day. My mom was in the kitchen, and my dad and I were in the living room, and he was kneeling down, and he was unzipping my jacket from that day. And as I looked into his big, beautiful eyes, I realized he's not unzipping his jacket. And it's because that day he would be sharing, he actually had another family, and he was picking them. And he would be leaving my mom, my sister, and I behind. And it was the first time in my life I had ever felt or experienced what it was like to not be chosen. And not being chosen sucks, right? But not being chosen by the very person who was supposed to love you unconditionally in the world was earth-shattering. So I had to learn that day, moving forward, how do I not rely on others to feel worthy? How do I choose myself in life? And listen, it has taken a lot of therapy, my family, my friends, my loving husband now to remind me, but we are getting there. And life has it gives you the opportunity to learn these moments and gives you the opportunity to choose yourself. And so for me, that moment shaped me, and it also shaped my need for safety. And for me, safety meant have a good job, be able to pay for bills, put food on the table, pay for the electricity bill, because I didn't want to have to worry or live in a trailer park or be on food stamps the way that we did when it was with just my mom, my sister, and not my dad. And so you can imagine what this did for my work ethic. I took all the extra projects, I raised my hand for all of the things. I worked late nights every weekend. And yet, at the height of my career as a marketer, where I knew I had done a good job and my experience finally matched my ambition, I found myself sitting across the desk, and this time it wasn't my dad, it was my boss. And he wasn't picking to have me on the team any longer. I was actually being asked to resign. And I had not failed at this job. In fact, the product I led just a month later won Best Product Launch, Best Campaign, only my name was not listed on the awards because I was no longer there. And so I had a moment again to decide, do I believe in the narrative of my boss that I was not good at this job, or do I choose myself? So what does choosing myself look like? Well, I founded and built a company built to do the very thing he said I wasn't good at, and I launched Directory. Thank you. Today, we're a multi-million-dollar Inc. 5000 company, and I get to work with some of the most incredible human beings on the planet. Human beings that when I can look them in the eye and say, if you do a good job, you will have a job. And I can keep that commitment because I set the standard. I can keep that, and that feels powerful. But beyond starting my company, more good came out of choosing myself, which is one of the things I want you to take away from my talk, is that choosing yourself is not a selfish act. And a lot of really good things can come out of choosing yourself. Because I started Directory, I was able to, when another company came my way and said, we are operating in the red, we are going to have to shut down, can you help us? And my answer could be yes. And that company is Tiny Superheroes. And now it is a nonprofit, and we help kids with disabilities who are facing critical conditions feel like the superhero that they are. To know that they are not broken, to know there's nothing wrong with them, and in fact, they are tiny, courageous superheroes. Thank you. Can you imagine, had I bought into that story sitting across that desk, what would the world have been missing out? What would these kids be missing out on because I didn't believe in myself? And that's what I want for you. I want you to think about, what is the world missing out on because you aren't choosing you? And I have one more story I want to share with you, because this one, it wasn't my dad and it wasn't my boss. This time it was society that I was having to make a bet on myself. My husband and I found ourselves in an emergency room with our beloved dog, Kingston. He's there in the middle. He's our little golden nugget. That's my family. We were sitting in the emergency room being told that his lungs were filling with fluid and that his heart was full of cancer, and that we would be losing him in the next 7 days. It was a moment where I had to look in the mirror and say, am I going to take the very pet bereavement leave policy I put in place for my employees to take advantage of? And am I going to take the days off leading to when we would be losing Kingston? Or am I going to do what society says to do? You're a female CEO. Keep your feelings at home. Don't make it awkward for other people. Just show up and come to work. The truth was, for me, it was never a decision. Those days that we had with Kingston are moments that we will remember for the rest of our lives. Taking him to get the McDonald's hamburgers. We got him a Ruth's Chris steak, which he devoured. We took him to get ice cream, we took him to his favorite park, and we got to honor the love that we had for him. He was our first dog as a married couple. He was our son. In that time, a fire lit inside of me. How could I feel so much shame for feeling so much love? This was my dog. He had taught me unconditional love in a moment where my dad hadn't even. Of course I was going to be grieving him. It led to me writing Pets Are Family. It's as simple as that, because if anyone in your family passed, no one would judge you for needing time off work. That book turned into a national movement. And I am now out in the world inspiring other CEOs to think about corporate culture, and that starts with treating your people as human beings and recognizing that their life outside of work will absolutely impact their life at work. We are not robots. And people think corporate culture is hard. So for me, I'm like, start with compassionate policies like pet bereavement leave. Honor that their family structure may include pets. And the thousands of emails that I've received, the social media DMs, which I read all of them and they mean everything, has been thank yous. Thank you for giving me permission to grieve my dog. Thank you for allowing me to unapologetically celebrate the love that I feel for my animals. So it's another moment where how much good can come out of choosing yourself. Now, choosing yourself is not easy. It's actually terrifying most of the time. And as you start to choose yourself, there's going to be people in your lives who are not going to understand the decisions that you're making. And they're going to start shooting on you. You should do this. You should do that. How will you stay strong to continue to choose yourself? My question to you is, what is it costing you to not choose you? Truly think about that. If you've never chosen yourself before, if somebody didn't choose you before, think about what it's costing you, because you have the power to start choosing yourself. For me, when I think about this, it used to be my weight. Maybe some of you can relate. Maybe it's the relationship with your kids, the promotion you're not asking for at work. What is it that it is costing you to not choose you? I want you to think back to a moment where you were at a crossroads and you didn't choose you. What could have been? And it's not about regret. It is about recognition and not repeating the behavior. But it is still going to be hard, so I want to leave you with these 3 tips that I do for myself. 1, it's every day. You're never going to master it, so every day you've got to choose yourself. And lean. It's what Lauren said earlier. Lean on your friends, lean on your family. My husband has to remind me, my therapist has to remind me. But it's an everyday practice to take inventory of what do you need for yourself to show up in the way that you want to show up in the world. 2 is I honor my feelings and I honor the feelings of those around me. If someone is brave enough to say, I am not okay, believe them, which means believe yourself when you are not okay, and don't judge it. It's honoring that for you. 3, make room for play. As I get to spend more time with our tiny superheroes, and I am watching them literally fight for their lives, yet they still find moments of joy and delight, I am reminded it doesn't matter how big the world feels, how big the problem feels, joy matters, and even if you can find it just for moments each day, do that for yourself. Because truly, choosing yourself can change everything. And when you start to do that, you give permission to other people to choose themselves too. And this beautiful ripple effect can happen. The whole world will start to shift around you. And so I stand here before you as an example of what is possible when you choose yourself. I do it through my company, where I set a corporate culture and hope to inspire other CEOs. I do it with Tiny Superheroes, where we bring light into some of the darkest moments in these families' lives. And I do it through my Pets Are Family movement, where I honor the love that I shared with my golden nugget, Kingston, and I give permission to others to do the same. My dad might not have chosen me, but I have chosen myself every single day since. And so I stand here to ask you, will you choose yourself today? Because I promise you, it is worth it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Come on, let her hear you.
Oh my gosh. I'm
So
shaking.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for this.
So much. Let her really hear you. Everybody at home.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Here we go. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Come on. Turn to somebody. Tell them one thing you're going to do to honor yourself and have some fun and play.
Yes.
Yeah.